Checking my levels. What's going on, guys? It's Tetrosphere, and I have a very special broadcast for you guys today because, as you know, I am currently commentating the series from the most recent case tournament at GalaxyBusterTCG, commemorating the release of the Justice Hunters deck build set. What makes this one so special, however, it is your boy, the man himself, Tetrosphere, aka really cool person. On the right of your screen, to the left is Robert. So I'm really excited to do this commentary. I have still the question of the day. Some audience engagement, please. Let me know down below, what is the most pain you have ever experienced? Emotional, physical, or spiritual? Let me know down below. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the match. I think we're just waiting for the clock here. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Brandon's going first. Looking at my hand, I got a lot of engine, but all of it pretty much loses to an Ash, right? So we're going to start off first action Rahu. Homeboy doesn't know what the cards do. So I basically tell him, like, look, man, this is half of a branded fusion. I'm going to get to use the material from anywhere. Deck, field, or grave. Or, that's preposterous. Deck, field, or hand, not grave. And we're going to get hit with the Ash Blossom. Okay, no problem. Let's attempt key 2. This is going to add, right? I'm telling Robert, and he's not happy about this, by the way. He's not very happy to learn that I had an extender. But looking at my hand, the other card's Lucius. Not very high quality there. So my end board's going to be pretty minimal, but, you know, that's okay. We know Draco Tail is more than happy to put up a pretty minimal end board and put in some work. It looks like I'm considering adding Lucius. Was it actually 5 mana in my hand? I might have missed it. We're going to add Mululu on resolution. Do we have anything from Robert? That's negative. All right, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Mululu, and we're going to, I believe here, attempt the effect to perform a fusion summon. Robert says this is fine. Oh, it was Winter Cherries as the other monster. Yeah, so I didn't really draw a very good engine at all. But we're going to go ahead and go into Altharian, or Arthalion, targeting the Mululu, I think, to add, and then the Mululu to set it. Which, this being the only fusion we're going to be able to perform, not great. So we're going to go ahead and set the spell negate. At this point, I do not know what Robert is on, but I do know that it was, in retrospect, I know it was Canine Vanquish Soul. So, I'm feeling decent, though, when I find out it's Canine Vanquish Soul, even though it's the bad matchup, because this is actually round 2, and round 1, I had 1 against Canine Vanquish Soul. The only problem is my only interruption is the Winter Cherries and the spell negate. So, you know, it's not great. I think Robert's considering whether or not he wants to summon Lupus from hand right now, but ultimately decides not to. Just in case I have a way to extend, I guess, if he does do something like that. So he goes ahead, draws for turn, and he's going to normal summon Rosin right there, right in front of the Arthalion. Of course, now I know what I'm up against, and considering that I know that my only interruption is the spell negate and the Winter Cherries to banish the rock, we're not in great shape. Now, this actually doesn't get caught, but, no, I think I caught it. Okay, I did catch it. I was about to say, am I about to illegally activate Winter Cherries? And I'm like, okay, good. All right, so he pops Arthalion, and now I can legally Winter Cherries to get rid of the rock. But I know this guy's hand is juice, so there's nothing to it. And I'm like, boy, I get to see your extra deck. Show me that shit. And then I'm also like, boy, why are you playing a rare hound? They made it in super. What are you doing? but we're all good. So with Rock out of rotation, it's like, okay. Hopefully we can out-resource them if we can just survive the turn, but this is a pretty hopeless situation with the only interaction being a spell negate. And, I mean, basically, I'm pretty sure he has every attribute at this point. And there's the Jokel. Revealing itself in Lupus. This is just bad. Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and perform an Xyz summon. That's pretty cool. Going to go ahead and make the Ripper. Ripper's going to search, and that's just going to be fine, obviously. We're going to go ahead and add Case, and I have activated a monster effect, so Homeboy gets to also set Force Release. It's not looking good, right? I mean, this is like bad. This is terrible. Not a great situation one bit. Also, I'm noticing that this camera angle is not very flattering for me, for my physique. So there's that. Case is fine. But what's it matter? He adds Lantern. Lantern's going to go ahead and extend even further. I mean, this is horrible. I don't even know what to talk about. Because, like, this is just so bad. This is just, like, this is just such an obviously horrible situation. If I'm being honest, thinking about it in retrospect, I don't know why I felt like I had a chance to survive. And there's no, like, information to gain from watching him play because this deck is pretty much solved. Like, I'm not going to learn, especially because I saw the extra deck. Like, there's not going to be a surprise here. I should have just scooped. I don't know. There's the Hound. They're at plus 900 because of the spell. So that's like significant damage. So in order to survive, I have to negate the spell. So I'm trying to negate the spell. And I do believe I do this in main phase. I'm explaining the spell can put something back. And then I'm explaining also that it doesn't destroy it. It just negates it. Draw another Winter Cherry. So that's obviously really good. And I think that allows me to survive the turn. But here's the thing, Brandon. I'm talking to you. Me. What the fuck were you thinking? Yeah. It's 3 minutes of your life you're never going to get back now, buddy, because you just wanted to sit there and watch a movie instead of understand the game state. I believe coming in from my perspective are the Fenrir's and the Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Coming out, I think, is... I don't remember if it's all 6 chummies. I think I might keep Perulia in, because I do feel like that's decent on my own turn. I think what I do is I side out 1 Perulia, 1 Ghost Reaper, if I'm not mistaken. And then... what else? 3 Fua, a Perulia, a Ghost Reaper. Because what's coming in is the 3 Fenrir's and the 3 Gravediggers. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the hell was the 6th card. Looks like the world may never know, but regardless... I forget exactly what my siding pattern was here, but on Robert's end, I was not paying attention, and honestly, this matchup is just so broken for Vanquish Soul that it probably doesn't matter. He probably could have put in, like, Celtic Guardian, and it being an Earth attribute, I think it's an Earth attribute. It being an Earth attribute would have just been enough, so... Yep, no big deal. No big deal. We're going to go ahead and... shuffle up. Hopefully, you know, draw a little bit better. The problem in game one, from my perspective, was opening Rahu instead of Ketu. I'm generally trying to play around Ash. And the way I did it there was just inappropriate. Opening Rahu and Ketu, I should have started Ketu because that actually plays around Ash better. So I think that was Perulia in the draw phase or standby phase or whatever. That's usually fine because I have Rahu again, so I'm able to summon without giving any draws. And it's going to get met with Ash Blossom once again, but this time I actually have the called by, so we're fine. We're going to chain Fualos. That's fine. I can give one draw under Fula. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with giving one draw in the Fualos. So it looks like we use Mululu from deck and Lucius from hand to make the Arthalion. That's obviously going to let us set a couple cards, and then Arthalion's going to try to bounce the Mululu back to hand. This is pretty good because if I'm able to get into a Phimena off of a Ketu that I set, then I'm able to non-target negate a face-up monster, which non-targeting is just really good against Vanquish for obvious reasons. So that's exactly what we do. And nothing on resolution, it looks like. Mululu goes back to hand. We have the Ketu, we have the Mululu, and we have the other Draco Tail Trap. So no other non-engine to work with. We're going to go ahead and activate Ketu to add Phimena, which of course is our ability to fusion summon on their turn. And by the way, at this case tournament, my Phimena stayed banished. I'm pretty sure I had called by resolve on me in 4 out of my 6 matches, and in 2 matches it happened twice. Regardless, I set my other trap and I go ahead and pass it over to Robert, who face palms because obviously he knows that his hand is absolutely gas and is not going to have any problems playing into anything that's going on. Looks like he's going to attempt Perulia just because why not? Just in case I have some way of summoning from the hand, that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and reveal the Xiaolong to summon Halisu. I don't think I have a reason to do anything here. There's a chance I fuse right here just to negate the Halisu, but he has a normal summon, so what's the big deal? And reveal Fire and Dark to summon from deck if I'm not mistaken. This might have been a decent time to go for the Mululu fuse because it would have actually, or to fuse off the Mululu because it would have actually triggered here with the Rosin being Chain Link 1, so Mululu actually would have resolved before. So looking back, that probably would have been better. But we're going to go ahead and add the Caesar Valius, which ends up just being an absolute fucking problem the entire game for obvious reasons. And Rosin's going to go ahead and reveal here to pop. So obviously this forces the Phimena. Yeah, this was just horribly executed. I really should have chained Phimena to the Halisu to special summon. Would have been way better. This match is honestly so painful for me to watch because I played so horribly, especially considering I came off a win against the same deck where I feel like I played really well. But, hey, sometimes when you're new to a format, you don't put your best foot forward, man. It just is what it is. I think Robert's thinking on responding here, but finally we are able to resolve. Philia Regis is not an option because the other... We do have Chaos Star Source. That's a possibility here. The Arthalion bounce is not very good because obviously Vanquish Soul is just fine with having resources in hand, so you really need to get shit out of there. But they also always have a chain block for the Gulamel, so like, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's really that simple. So yeah, we go for Chaos Star Source, which I think is basically correct here. Well, no. Doing it 2 chains ago was correct. But in this game state, it's the best play. He doesn't know what Chaos Star Source does, even though this card is actually very old. Well, not very old, what am I saying? But it's actually much older than this set. It was a super poly target against Centurion back when, I think, like, Thualos first dropped. Like, I'm pretty sure this was out of Rage of the Abyss. And a lot of people were on Centurion for its, like, low-to-the-ground game plan under Thualos. It's really good compromise into that. So what basically this guy did was allowed you to super poly off the Cosmic Blazar and the Auxilla, I think. So essentially all that's going to happen here is Mulu is going to try to set and then negate a face-up guy, which is irrelevant at this point because Razin has successfully added the Caesar, which means that it can be bounced. Although, in retrospect, Homeboy had the Borger. Did it actually matter? Did it matter? Let me know down below. Do you guys think it even fucking mattered? Considering the hand, considering what went down, considering what Robert had to work with, considering the interactions that I'm able to put up, did it even matter? I don't know. Maybe. But Homeboy had Borger, man. Whatever I negate, I mean, it's going to deny one Razin search, but it's not going to deny it on the next turn when he bounces it with Borger and then reveals again with Holly Sue to just summon another one. So it didn't fucking matter. Never did. I'm pissed. I hate this matchup. It's so bad. It's so bad. The Arthalion bounce is not very good. Gulamel is always chain blocked. The main deck Dragons interactions can be pretty good to blow shit up, but they have ways of preventing shit from getting blown up. The field spell can protect by revealing. The trap can make them unaffected. Caesar Valius can make itself unaffected. I think Razin can protect itself. Much like real life, it's just a hopeless endeavor. It's just a soul-crushing defeat. It's just pain. It's just pain. Constant pain. Here I take 1,500 from Borger. I've got my trap set, but you know what those do in this matchup? Almost nothing. The spell is good against specifically Stake Your Soul, or the field spell, which as you can see here are not necessary for the game to execute its, or for the deck to execute its game plan. The bounce targets, and once again, bouncing Vanquish Soul cards is not very good because they're happy to just be in the fucking hand. So, what do I do? What do I do? There's not really anything to think about here, Robert. Just mercy kill me. And I don't even mean, like, there's no, like... See what I mean? Rock's just going to put the Holly suit right back in fucking hand where it's happy to... It's pointless. Everything is pointless. It's a disaster. This might be one of the worst things to ever happen to a person. This game state. Look at what I'm fucking up against. And Caesar Valius is going to blow something up. It doesn't fucking matter. We're going to go ahead and bounce the Caesar Valius. It probably was ultimately better to bounce Rock, but my feeling here was bouncing Caesar Valius meant I was more likely to survive more turns. But I do think that Rock was ultimately better. But actually, was it? Because they just make another one, right? Well, although if they make another one, Caesar's now in grave. So, yeah, probably ultimately a bit better I mean, but it doesn't fucking matter because in the next turn, it's a quick effect. They just put the Caesar back in their hand. Their graveyard is just 2 chummies and an ash. So even if I bounce the Rock on my next turn, they're just gonna make another Rock on Robert's just gonna make another Rock here if I bounce Rock. Caesar's in grave. On my turn, he goes Rock, put Caesar back in the hand from grave. Holly Sue reveals something to summon herself. Holly Sue to summon from deck. Summons whatever. It could be a Rosin. I don't give a fuck. Borger and Caesar Valius are both in hand. They can bounce shit back to hand to summon themselves. And they're on the field with their effects anyway. It doesn't matter. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm actually here talking about it, watching it again for the second time, and I'm able to, have this one-sided conversation with you guys about this matchup, it didn't fucking matter. I'm really realizing that. It didn't fucking matter. Nothing matters. We're about to bear witness to it not mattering. This guy, the end board is a fucking Rock of the Vanquisher, and it's not going to matter. I got that Fenrir in my hand. It ain't doing shit. What's my hand? I think it's Rahu, or maybe Kitu. Kitu, Fimena, and Fenrir. What I would love is for my board to get cleared so I can make the Fenrir, and I'm considering my options, and I think what I ultimately end up doing after some consideration is attempting to go to battle phase to try to just force Robert's hand a bit. So Rock is going to go ahead and summon from hand, and it's a Rosin, so Rosin's going to go ahead and search, and that's just going to be okay. Also, don't mind the shaking. It's not that I was terrified. I have ADHD, so don't worry about that. But also, I was terrified. It's just that the shaking wasn't anything to do with it. It was going to happen regardless. Thinking about it in retrospect, I was really, really focused on getting this Fenrir off the board, or on the board. I probably should have just gone key 2 and tried to do some board breaking without it. That is what I do. Okay. Let's see. What do I add here? It doesn't matter. But what do I add? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering, what do I add? I think the correct play is probably to add Pan. And then Pan and Chaos Star Source, I think, can make Philia Regis. Pan can pop a guy. And then Philia Regis can banish a guy, return itself to the extra deck, and then I can make Fenrir. I think that's what I end up going for. At least I hope I do. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely the play. Because that both does some board breaking and opens my field up for the Fenrir to come down. The only problem is that it gives me no follow-up because all I have is Fimena. Although actually Pan's about to set Rahu, so that might be a play. We reveal Xiaolong to make Rosin, I think, indestructible this turn. So Pan is going to have to pop the rock, which I think is fine. Regis can pop the banish the Rosin, I think. So that's okay. He could, if he wants to save the Rosin, he could just bounce it back, which I think is exactly what's about to happen. If I recall. Or no, he just takes the banishment. Okay. So Pan, Regis is going to return for part of her effect. And then Pan is going to go ahead and set a Rahu and pop rock. Alright, so at the start of this video, I asked what was the most pain you've ever experienced, emotional, physical, or spiritual. And we are about to bear witness to my answer to that question. So after all that work, I finally get Fenrir down on the board. I attempt Rahu. Why didn't I add off Fenrir first? That was a mistake. I should have... It was legal, right? There was no reason I couldn't. Yeah, I don't think anything lingering prevented me from doing that. Yeah, Urgula from deck, Phimena from hand. Definitely an Arthalion angle. And then we're going to go ahead and check our grave. Yeah, get Lucius back in so we have a normal summon. That makes a lot of sense. And then those two are going to try to set. This is what really sucks about your traps not being very good against Vanquish Soul, though, is that you don't really get your recycle game going. Now, here's what you guys are probably thinking. Brandon, this looks like a pretty good game state. I mean, as of right now, you have lethal on board. 3K from each Arthalion and 2,400 from Fenrir is pretty good. So, you know, what the hell, Brandon? Why are you so nervous? And you got the normal summon of Lucius, and you can put Phimena back in hand with Urgula. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the truth of the situation. In this moment, in real life, in the case tournament, I felt like I had regained control of the situation. Truly. I believed that this game was now mine to win. I had plays. I had established board presence. I had established follow-up. Here's where it all starts fucking crumbling down. He summons Holly Sue. On resolution, I go Fenrir target Holly Sue to banish it face down. Guys. Many of you probably know what's about to happen. Do you know what Fenrir's attack stat is? Fenrir's attack stat is 2,400. The attack stat of the Arthalions is 3,000, so Fenrir is currently the smallest monster on my board. In response to the Fenrir, he goes Holly Sue to take. Guys. This is what I should have done. What I should have done for you watching at home, what I should have done is I should have done Draco Tail Horn to bounce that fucking Fenrir right back to my hand. That's what I should have done. But I don't do that because I'm scrambling, as you can see. I believe I have Phimena in hand, so I'm trying to figure out if like a fusion summon is potentially going to get me out of this. But no, it's not. Or no, I couldn't. That's Flame. That's right. I already did the bounce with Horn. So that's not even an option. I'm no longer kicking myself that bad. But still. What the fuck? I don't have a response. And now, Caesar Valius. to dodge the Fenrir banish. And here's the problem, guys, is obviously I know he has all these cards. Like, I'm playing into known interactions, but like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And guys, for those of you who don't know, here's what happens. When you take Fenrir in this fashion, Fenrir triggers for homeboy on a new chain, because I activated a monster effect in the previous chain, and he targets the Arthalion to try to banish it face down. I chain 5 mana to perform a fusion summon to dodge it. I have Lucius in hand. I can fuse it off with the Arthalion in field, and it's just going to be okay. No, it's not. This is over. Everything I had worked for, gone. Crumbled away. Taken from me. Never mattered. They pop the Arthalion that revived itself, so it gets banished. Phimena uses her effect to fuse the Arthalion that got targeted by Fenrir, plus Lucius off. Guys, it doesn't fucking matter. I make Gulamel. Who cares? They always have a chain block. It doesn't matter. Either way, Caesar Valius is bigger. And it can make itself unaffected. It doesn't matter. Why am I looking at Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now when I could instead be looking at a fucking build your own cravings box from Taco Bell? What was I thinking? Continuing to play this game of Yu-Gi-Oh. The entire time, it was hopeless. It was pointless. It was a joke. Every time. It never mattered. Brandon, why are you even worried about it? Why are you even thinking? There's nothing to think about. Just do it. Just scoop. It's over. You tried. You failed. It doesn't matter. You're possibly the biggest piece of shit to ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you're probably never going to amount to anything, so just scoop. It's over. You know what's hilarious? I didn't even have a fucking target for Lucius, so that was an illegal activation, which means Gulamel could never chain. I could never get rid of the Fenrir in that fashion. But here's the thing, guys. Even if I did get rid of the Fenrir, say it with me, it didn't matter. Because either way, I can run over the Fenrir instead of popping it, but I can't run over or pop the Caesar. So who cares? Robert's probably thinking the same thing. Why is this guy continuing to play Yu-Gi-Oh? The grind game has been crushed to a halt. All my interactions have been dealt with. Those 3 cards face down are not real. They're nothing. I mean, it's adorable, truly, that I think there's even a chance. Oh, look at that. Summon Mad Love. You know what's good about Mad Love for me is that Draco Tail Flame might be online. You know what's bad? It doesn't matter. Here's the thing about Draco Tail, or Vanquish Soul. Once they have all their shit in their hand, it's over. It's just over. He doesn't need the field spell to resolve. This is actually kind of disturbing on Robert's part, because truly all he's doing is dragging out my misery. Truly. I mean, this is just awful. I mean, think about it, guys. I could be eating Taco Bell. I could be drinking a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I could have been halfway into a case of 5-layer burritos. But I wasn't. Instead, I was doing this. Borger burn, right? Jiaolong summon itself. This is all in the battle phase. Poke for game. All right. So, guys, here's the moral of the story. Just give up.